it's just enough to be wild for the evening. We fall apart to start believing. I know this feeling drips down my body in the sun. This is the real thing, and I am overcome. Our hands are reeling, my heart beating like a band. Lift off the ceiling as I open up my hands. Oh, this is chemical. Oh, lost in a gold rush. Oh, this is the promise of reckless and ruthless love. We build it up with songs of broken, caught in the rough between us in a moment. I know this fire reaches the corners of my truth. Oh, I am lighter when I'm reflecting you. Tonight I'm all in. I trade my past for something new. I'll let it reach in to see what this can do. Moving, moving, moving. It's moving, moving, moving. Moving, moving, moving. Going moving, moving, moving. Going moving, moving, moving. Moving, moving, moving. Moving, moving, moving. Moving, moving, moving. Going moving, moving, moving. 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 I know this feeling drips down my body in the sun. This is the real thing, and I am overcome. I know this feeling drips down my body in the sun. This is the real thing, and I am overcome. Our hands are reeling, my heart beating like the band. Lift off the ceiling as I open up my hands. Oh, this is chemical. Oh, caught in a gold rush. Oh, this is the promise of reckless and ruthless love.
Good morning. It's Monday morning, and we're glad you're here. It's time for morning encouragement. We always start with a song, so get ready, turn up the tunes, and let's sing together.
And I've searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. And man's empty praise and treasures of faith are never enough. You came along and put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you. Oh, I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, but you still call me friend. The God of the mountain is the God of the valley, and there's no place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty from ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. 'Cause you're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you. 'Cause you turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. Oh, you're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. 'Cause you're the only one who can. 'Cause there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you.
You know, as you know, we take the morning encouragement from the One Year Bible. And we've been doing this all along, and it's been really helpful through this time of crisis. And I had a great time sharing yesterday about let's roll on what's next. I hope you do, if you haven't had a chance to do that and you're part of the Mill Creek campus, I encourage you to watch as I share a little bit of the vision of what's gone on. And if you're part of Lake Stevens, watch James's message and Brian's, watch the Woodinville message as well. This is a chance for us to kind of just share from our hearts through this time. Well, today, I take the passage from, I selected Job. I finally selected Job because it's kind of the culmination of Job. We're finally going to be through with the book of Job. And what I think is really interesting about the book of Job is that it starts with this premises. God is bragging on Job. He's such an upright guy. He's doing things right. He's praying. He's just, and God is bragging on Job. And so here's the premise, that Job's this great guy that God is incredibly blessed. And then we all know what happens. These horrible things happen to Job. And for the rest of the book, there's all kinds of debates on why these horrible things happen to Job. And Job himself even coming to the conclusion that he wishes he could debate God so that he could defend himself before God, and wondered what it would be like. And finally, in today's reading, God speaks up. And God challenges Job. And what is fascinating to me is how he challenges Job. He challenges Job with creation. Now I'm standing here and behind me is all of creation. And I was thinking about really actually the beauty of that. Whenever you face something that's really, that you can't understand, whenever you are at the point of the whys of your life and you wonder why this happens or that happens, I think a great place to start, and I think God gives us a clue in the book of Job, is to start with creation. To get outside, go on a hike, to look at the creation. In particular, God began to detail out all the incredible creations of animals that he had. And he talked about the Leviathan, which I'm not even sure we know what he's talking about there. But none of that really matters. What matters is that what God is saying is, take a look at creation, and you can't figure out creation. You really can't understand creation. How do you think you can understand this? And so when we get to these why questions, we have to conclude there's no good answer. We are not going to be able to understand this. We're just not. But if we go out in creation and begin to see all that God has, we'll know one thing, that God has a pattern, and then he's got a plan, and even though we don't understand it, he created it. But then we finally hit the answer. I love what Job says when God finally answers him. Job says, I was all wrong. I'm going to keep my mouth closed. I have no answers for you, God. Forgive me for questioning you. And I think there'll be a day when we all stand before God and all the whys of our life, all the things that we think are unexplainable, we're going to stand speechless before God and somehow understand it way differently than we do now. And I think Job illustrates that. But then the answer to Job is found in the very next thing. God addresses the friends of Job. And what does he say to them? He says, you guys are all wrong. In fact, you're so wrong that I should really punish you. But here's the thing. If Job will pray for you, I will forgive you. Now, there's two things. Number one, he's doing this for the friends. They really did need to be forgiven. They really did need to own up to their own mistakes. That Job really was innocent. That there wasn't really a reason, a good answer to why. And that all of their arguments were no good. But the second reason that God did it was for Job. I think the beginning of spiritual health in anybody that is in a very difficult place, in a place where you don't have the answer to why, where it's so tough and it's all that, is for you to focus on someone else. And what Job did is he started to pray for his friends. At the very next sentence, as soon as he prayed for his friends, God forgave his friends, but God restored Job's health, and he restored his wealth, he restored his position and his family, and all the things that he had lost before. But it began when Job prayed for his friends. And I challenge you, maybe you're in a tough spot right now, and it's really easy to get caught up in all the tough things that are happening in your life. One of the greatest things you can do is simply stop and pray for your friends, for the people around you, even for the people who are wrong. And what you'll begin to see is some spiritual health come into your life when you focus on others. Well, that's my thoughts from Job today. Here's a list. It's my list. I always write a list. Here's the things I'm giving to God today. I was thinking this is the last week, and something that's out of my control is school. And it's just super sad for me, for teachers and principals in our church right now, that I know they would want to be face-to-face teaching as normal, what they've been trained to do, and now they're scrambling, wondering how to teach in a different way and do things differently, and that's just a little out of my control. And I just need to give them, my friends, my teacher friends, my principal friends, I want to give them to God. And then the students. I know for some students this is going to be the hardest thing ever, and I think there's some that are going to get behind. And then for the parents who can't go to work and parent their kids. I think this is going to be a difficult place for people financially, and this is one of those things that it's just, I need to give to God. And another thing I give is the summer's gone. You know, we always look forward to the summer. We always have such a great time in the summer. And this is the last week of summer, and that's out of my control. And then what's next? I talked about it yesterday, but it's the next thing. You never know what happens. You wake up in the morning, there's something new happening. And the what's next can be so fearful in our lives. When in reality, we can't be afraid of that. We have to give that to God. And the next thing is just the turmoil. It's so hard to understand the turmoil, the riots, the protests, the things that are happening politically in our society, all the different things, the turmoil. I just give that to God. So here's the things I can't control. Number one, I can be thankful. Every day I can fill a list of things that I can thank God for. I can think positive. That means that every day I start to say, somehow God's going to use this for good. And I can think about, let's roll. What does that mean? That means for me, I have a clear vision for the future. And I know what God's going to do and how he's going to use us. So here's some things I can thank God for. I'm thanking God for my health. Man, I've had a number of healthy days, and I'm so thankful for just my health and for inspiration, personally inspiration. I'm thankful for the project in Woodinville, getting right at the end of closure. We're right to the point of getting our final. And I'm thankful for the project in Lake Stevens that's just at the process of finishing the purchase of our Lake Stevens property. I'm thankful for unity that happens because of the grace of God. Not because we always agree with each other, but because of the grace of God. I'm thanking God for mission clarity. We know what we're here to do. We are here to take as many people to heaven as possible with us. And I'm thankful for Jesus because he's the solution for every major problem we face today. And it's such a great thing to have him in our lives and to share him with others. Lastly, I'm thankful that God's going to make all things work together for good to those that love him. I love God with all my heart. I hope you love God with all your heart. And if you don't, start loving him today.